Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Marvel Rivals video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the official patch notes for Season 1. Yeah, we're just going to go down the list, break them down. I'll discuss what I think about the changes, how I think they'll affect the game or the character themselves. This is probably going to be a long one. I did a little peeky, and I scrolled down, and it is quite long, so we're going to be here talking about it for a minute. So this is going to be a video you might want to grab a bag of popcorn, bag of chips, coffee, some tea, something like that. Just chill, throw this on your side monitor or something, and let's just go ahead and get right into it. This is not scripted or anything. This is all just off the cuff, so excuse my hot takes if I have any. But Vanguard. Okay, let's go over the tanks. Captain America. Steve will receive some enhanced survivability, allowing more frequent entering and exiting of the combat. Okay? Reduce the delay time for shield restoration after releasing Living Legend from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. So basically, when you stop blocking, that's the time in between, like, your shield not getting any more recharged and then it actually recharging itself. So now, when you let go of your block, your shield will actually start going back up after 2 seconds instead of 3, which is a good change. Definitely means your shield, you're going to have more shield faster, so good. Reduce Liberty Rush's cooldown from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. More movement, more damage, more mobility. Just cooldown reduction is always going to be a plus for him. Increase base health from 650 to 675. Extra 25 health does increase survivability. It should help with, like, maybe, getting you can survive an extra couple bullets or two from, like, the big hitters and stuff. Still a good change. Definitely, when they said increases survivability, I mean, yeah, they're doing that so far. Reduce the energy cost for releasing Freedom Charge ultimate ability from 3,400 to 3,100. Reduce the additional health provided per second to self after releasing it from 110 to 100. So basically, you get your ultimate faster because it requires less ult charge, but instead of getting 110 health every second, you get 100 health every second. So I think you're losing, like, what, 100 health total? I'm actually gonna okay. Why is this not working? Okay. Marvel Rivals. Here we go. I'm going to bring up the hero list so we can look at cooldown times and all this other stuff as we're going through it. So yeah, Freedom Charge has what, 10-second duration? Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, so you get 100 less health overall. But yeah, I think overall the changes for Captain America are really good. They should increase his survivability. He's got more movement with Liberty Rush, which I believe is his shield dash, correct? Yeah, it is. So he has more movement because, he gets his dash back 2 seconds faster, more survivability due to the extra health and him getting his shield recharge rate delay being lessened. So yeah, overall good changes. He should definitely be more survivable. Is it enough to put him above some of the other tanks? I still don't think so. But also, I haven't read the rest of these changes, so I don't know. Doctor Strange, fully reducing the threat range and increasing the defense window of Sorcerer Supreme. Add damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom, starting at 5 meters and reducing to 70% at 8 meters. Okay. Slightly decrease the shield value recovery rate after releasing Shield of Seraphim from 80 a second to 70 a second. Okay, cool. So yeah, they're just making him a little less good overall. You get your shield back a little bit slower. Instead of getting 80 shield back per second, you get 70. So it's going to take longer for you to get your full shield back, or just, get your shield back in general. And then for his Maelstrom of Madness, I believe is his left click. I know what all the abilities do. I'm just not, like, super... Like, I don't have all the names memorized, especially on the characters I don't really play. No, Maelstrom of Madness is his detonation, right? Yeah, okay. So his AoE detonation to, like, cleanse himself got nerfed a little bit. Okay, yeah, so that does less damage, so just keep that in mind if you're playing Doctor Strange. If you're getting rushed down by a melee character and you're trying to blow them up with your cleanse, with your AoE, it does have more damage fall off. So make sure that they're actually close to you. If they start getting away from you, you might not be able to secure the kill now. So yeah, try to get them as close as possible to you. Thor, the God of Thunder, could use some slightly increased survivability and improve the success rate to his ultimate ability. Okay, increase base health from 500 to 525, another slight increase in health, just like we saw with Cap, and added immunity to crowd control effects during God of Thunder. Yeah, okay, so the extra 25 health does increase his survivability. He can tank, like, an extra bullet or two from the heavy hitters, or, more sustained damage from other characters and stuff. An extra 25 health. Not, the most, but still not a small amount to bat an eye at. It's still 25 extra health, Pandora, I am trying to record a Passions video. Stop biting me. My cat likes to be the center of attention, so. And then added the immunity to crowd control effects. Really good. So you can't get him, you can't CC him out of his ultimate, so once he activates it, it will be going off. This will probably lead to him securing, lower health kills, or at least doing those damage and stuff. But when he lands, of course, you can just CC him when he lands and his ultimate is over. So I still think you're going to have to be careful with using his ability, because sure, they can't stop your ultimate, so you can still do your damage, still get your offense in, but they know where you're going to land. Like, you go straight down. So if someone's out of your ability, or if you don't kill them with your ultimate, they can just stun you or CC you right after you land, and just kill you right after. So definitely make sure you're securing your kills, or you're in a good enough spot where, your team can back you up, or you can retreat and just, be safe. The Hulk. Dr. Banner has been dominant, but some decreased sustained combat capability upon entering the battlefield will bring him more in line with the other Vanguards. Yeah, I was definitely wrong about Hulk in my tier list video. I thought he wasn't that great until I really put some hours into him. And he's fantastic. He's honestly one of my favorite tanks to play. I don't run him in every comp, but he's definitely my Oonga Boonga tank. But, okay, reduces the indestructible Gamma Guard shield value for Hero Hulk from 250 to 200. Oh, okay, so his bubble shield only takes 200 damage instead of 250, so you're going to be able to tank 50 less damage with your bubble shield, so just keep that in mind when you're diving in. Just remember that you have slightly less survivability, so some of those dives that you could barely pull off before, you might not be able to pull off anymore. But like I always say with characters like diving characters, as long as you're smart about it and safe, and you know when to take your picks, and you have good timing and stuff, really it's not that big of an issue. But if you do find yourself in a bad position, just remember, you do have less survivability. Okay, Venom. With increased survivability and the threat of his ultimate ability, the Symbiote Menace will strike fear into the backlines of all enemy teams. Increase the symbiotic resilience bonus health ratio gain per lost health bonus, or per health point from 1 to 1.2. So basically, whenever you pop his get out of jail free card when you have your low health, instead of getting 1 point of health back for every 1 point missing, you'll get 1.2. So yeah, whenever you activate that at low health, you'll get even more health back, so that does increase his survivability. Definitely lets him get out of dodge more, since he'll be getting more health back. The enemy has to work harder to take you out now. Increase the base damage of Feast of the Abyss from 40 to 50. Okay, yeah, so slightly increased the damage of his ultimate, which is good. You might be able to secure some lower health kills, and just, dealing more damage is always a good thing. So yeah, good changes for Venom. I honestly don't think he was that bad. I know he falls off at higher levels and stuff, but I thought he was relatively okay. So I'm interested to see how Venom pans out, at least in the first half of the season. I wonder if he gets toned back, or if he gets buffed even more. But I also don't have a ton of time on Venom. Most of my experience goes from fighting them. So if you're a Venom main, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Venom changes. Do you think he needed to be buffed? Do you think he needed more buffs? Let me know what you think down below. Okay, Duelist, Black Panther. We're slightly decreasing T'Challa's combat survivability. Okay, reduce the additional health provided to self after refreshing Vibranium marks with Spirit Rend from 40 to 30, and the upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75. Oof. Yeah, so Black Panther mains, if you're watching this, you definitely took a hit to your survivability. You're only getting 30 health back when you refresh your mark now, so you're getting 10 health less back, so that's a little bit less survivability. But the big kicker is the upper limit of the additional health provided from 120 to 75. So now the maximum amount of over health you're allowed to give yourself is 75 instead of 120. That's quite a bit. That's 45 less health than you could take before, and that's quite a big chunk. Because doesn't Black Panther a 250 or 275 health hero? Oh, he's a 300. Man, I really don't play Black Panther. Okay, so he's a 300 health character. So, yeah, you can only go up to 375 now instead of 420. So, yeah, definitely know that you're less tanky and be slightly more careful. But honestly, Black Panther has so much movement that I think you'll be fine. As long as you're smart with your dashes and, you know, you're dashing into cover into your team and stuff to get away from people when you need to and stuff, you'll be okay. But definitely know if you get surprised or you get into a bad situation, you are not going to be able to tank as much stuff as you could have. Okay. Black Widow. Natasha was very much in need of optimization when evaluating the release experience of her abilities, as well as a slightly increase to the threat of her ultimate ability. Yeah, Black Widow, didn't she have, like, the lowest pick rate, like, in the game? We're going to check that out. This is a patch notes video, but we're also just going to be talking about the entire state of the game. Okay, the hero hot list. Okay, let's go competitive. I play on console, so we're looking at console, but we'll look at both. Pick rate. Oof. Yeah, under a % pick rate for Black Widow on console, and slightly over a % for PC. Okay. Gotcha. Wow. So pretty low pick rates, honestly. I should do a video breaking those down, I think, actually. But anyways, yeah, so definitely one of the lowest picked characters. Not very strong, not a lot of people playing her. But let's see if she got some good changes. Increase the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from a 3-meter radius to a 5-meter radius. What is Edge Dancer? Is that her kick? Pandora, honey, you're okay. Edge Dancer. Spinning kick. Okay, cool. So this lets her zip to them with the... Okay. Sorry, I've played Black Widow once. Okay, so that increased the radius of her kick. Cool. From a 3-meter circle to a 5-meter circle. Reduce the time required for Fleet Foot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4 seconds. Okay, that's her super jump and her sprint, correct? Fleet Foot. Shift. Yeah, it's her sprint. Wow. So yeah, you're going to have a lot more mobility with her. You get your jump back every 4 seconds instead of 12? Oh yeah, pinning her down is definitely going to be a lot rougher. She's going to be able to jump a lot, move around a lot, get back to her team. Okay. Reduce the time required for Electroplasma Explosion ultimate ability to reach maximum power from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. Okay, so the charge time is reduced so you can get it off faster. So you can, you know, if you see a really good opportunity to use it, you could just fire it out relatively quickly. Yeah, okay, so good changes. I'm surprised they didn't touch her damage, to be honest with you. I guess she doesn't really need it. So yeah, if you're a Black Widow main out there, your kick has a bigger radius, your stamina recovers in 4 seconds instead of 12, so you have a lot more mobility options now. And you can fire off your ultimate a little faster. Good changes. Will it be enough? I don't think so. To make her super good, but still good changes. You know, I'd rather them take baby steps and not break characters than, you know, take big swings with balances and mess up. So I'm fine with this. We'll see how it pans out. Maybe it does make her really good. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of experience on her, but just from an outsider's perspective, I don't know. Hawkeye will be decreasing the medium to long range damage capability, reducing the threatening combat radius, and slightly improving the close combat resistance for the Avenging Archer. Cool. Slightly reduce the spread angle between every 2 blast arrows, so I guess that means they are tighter. They're in a tighter spread, so you could probably hit more on the same target. I assume what it's like is probably the spread was something like this, and they're just tightening it up like that or something, you know what I mean? So you can probably land more on target. And then reduce the triggering distance of pass ability Archer's Focus from 60 meters to 40 meters. Reduce the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. Cool. So to trigger the passive for his aiming, you know, power up and a shot, you have to be within 40 meters of the enemy instead of 60. So he has to be 20 meters closer to you, which is nothing to knock at. So he definitely isn't going to be able to use some vantage points that maybe he was able to use before if he wants to get, you know, the full damage from his passive. And then reduce the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. So 10 less damage on your shots. It might save you in certain situations. You might get shot and still have like 30 health left or something. because of the 10 damage reduction or something like that. So yeah, he does 10 less damage overall from the passive, which is, adds up, after a couple arrows. After 3 arrows, that's, 30 damage. After 5 arrows, that's 50 damage, which, is a quarter to a fifth of a lot of the character's health. So yeah, it adds up. But overall, yeah, good nerf so far. And a little bit of a buff. The blast arrow is definitely a buff. Probably to let him deal with closer range targets better, since he has to be 20 meters closer, which makes sense. I think this is a good change for him. I still think he's going to be really strong, though. But yeah, having him 20 meters closer, that's going to work out for a lot of characters. There's a lot of spots on certain maps they're not going to be able to use now to trigger the passive. If you're a Hawkeye main, let me know how this affects you. I understand you'll be doing less damage and stuff, obviously, but in terms of where you set up and position yourself, how does that affect you with these changes? Now that you have to be 20 meters closer, let me know down in the comments. All right, Hela, Goddess of Death has been a menace and will slightly decreasing her combat strength, reduce base health from 275 to 250. Just a health nerf, 25 less health, you can kill her easier. She still does not have a damage decrease here on the patch notes, so she's still going to be able to 2 to 3 tap you. So just try to kill her faster with her 25 less health. I think she should have been nerfed a little bit more, to be honest, but it's okay. We'll see. We'll see how the 25 less health affects her, because 250 is pretty low. So we'll see. And then Magic. The Queen of Limbo needed an increase to her threat after unleashing her ultimate ability. I honestly don't think she needed a buff, but she does struggle at higher levels, so I understand it. I just think she's definitely more of a pup stomper. Like, if she just starts teleporting in your backline and nobody wants to actually focus a target, she just kind of gets away with everything for free. But yeah, at higher levels, she definitely does fall off. So, let's see. Increase the Umbral and Curse damage in Dark Child form from 115 to 35. Okay, so with that attack, she does an extra 20 damage. Okay, that's still pretty useful. 20 extra damage is 20 extra damage. We'll see how that affects her. I think she's still going to be pretty good. But honestly, not a really big change. Moon Knight. The Hand of Khonshu will receive a slight increase to the threat of his ultimate ability. Increase the number of talons generated by Hand of Khonshu from 10 to 14, and increase the explosion radius of each talon from 4 meters to 5 meters. Alright, I have the most playtime out of anyone in Moon Knight by far, not even close. I'm approaching the 35-hour mark with him, which I know for some of y'all is not a lot, because y'all are no lifers. Okay, I get it. But, for me, it's a lot, okay? 35 hours is a lot. Great change, because his ultimate was really frustrating to use as a Moon Knight main, because of the delay before the talons actually start dropping. Unless you comboed it with someone to hold them in place or stun them or yada yada, they always had enough time to get out. Even if they were in a good position and clumped up, as soon as they saw you cast your ultimate ability, most of the cast has movement abilities to get out. Or, a lot of people could just walk out and take half their damage, or half their health and damage, and that'd be it. So the delay was, kind of annoying. And a lot of the times you'd use it and you would expect to get more kills than you would get. And it was kind of frustrating. I found his ultimate to be inconsistent. But with 4 extra talents and the explosion radius going up, people are still going to be able to get out of it with movement abilities, obviously. But in those cases where, you did get someone that, their movement ability wasn't up, or they don't have one, a lot of the times they would just be able to walk out and they would still survive. They'd take a good amount of damage, but they'd still survive. But with 4 extra talents and the extra explosion radius, I think the chances of that happening, or the instances of that happening, are definitely going to go down. I think a lot of the time, if you don't have a movement ability to get out, you're just going to get creamed, because, 4 extra talents falling from the sky and the extra radius for the explosions. Pretty good. I think it's a good change for Moon Knight. I think it's a pretty safe change, too. I don't think the rest of his kit needed a change. I think he's in a pretty good spot right now. He has clear strengths, clear weaknesses. So, yeah, I think he's a pretty good balanced character. I know I'm a Moon Knight main, saying that my main is a pretty well-balanced character, but I honestly don't think anyone has a big issue with him. I think most of the time people have issues with their teammates not shooting the onks. It's not the Moon Knight's fault. He's just using his kit. If your team isn't shooting the onks, of course I'm just going to keep using them, Namor. We're optimizing the throwing feel of Namor's eggs. Adjusting the throwing feel of Monstro Spawn and Frozen Spawn, now Namor can more accurately throw them in the desired location. I hope that means they increase the throw strength, because he kind of just, tosses them out. I wouldn't even say he throws them. So hopefully that feels a lot better. Obviously a hard change to talk about, since it's not a numbers one, it's a feel one. So, go into game, go to the practice range, and try that one out for yourself, and see how it is. Psylocke. We'll be providing more options for other heroes to counter the Demon Slayer's ultimate. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now, Dance of the Butterfly will check for barriers, including Magneto's Metal Bulwark, Hulk's Indestructible Guard, etc. So you can actually counter it with Magneto and Hulk. Cool. If a Psylocke goes off on my team and I'm playing Hulk, I'm just going to bubble my entire team. That seems like a pretty good counter. Magneto can only save himself or one other person, so I don't... I mean, yeah, he can still save someone, which is better than saving nobody, though, so... the Punisher. Oh, good change for Psylocke. Pretty safe change. I know she was definitely top tier, but I don't know if she really needed nerfs or anything, honestly, because she's, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think Psylocke is strong, but I'm kind of on the fence if she needed nerfs. I can see it where like she would get a nerf, and I'd be like, okay, that's understandable. But if she didn't get a nerf, I also think it's understandable as long as she doesn't get buffed. I don't think she needs a buff, but let me know if you think she needs more of a nerf. Alright, then we have the Punisher. We're slightly increasing the damaging capabilities of Frank's weapons. Slightly reduce the spread of Deliverance and Adjudication. Honestly, I didn't even know they had spread. I thought they were pinpoint accurate. I mean, obviously the shotgun has spread, but... Alright, so you can be more accurate with Punisher. Lets you dink more heads. Lets you increase your damage if you hit more headshots. So, pretty good change, I guess. Ooh, sorry. Alright, Scarlet Witch. We're increasing Wanda's combat strength when she's facing duelists or strategists. Okay. Increasing Chaos Control's fixed damage from 50 a second to 60 a second. Reduce the percentage damage per second from 5% to 3%. And increased Chthonian burst projectile damage from 30 to 35. Reduce the damage per second. Okay, how does her ability work exactly? Okay, Chaos Control. 6% base, or 6 base damage plus 0.3% of enemies max damage. Oh, or max health percent. Okay. Okay. So you do more raw damage, but you do a lower percentage of their maximum health. Okay. So yeah, you're a little bit less effective against tanks, because the damage bonus against tanks is obviously higher because their maximum health is higher. But the 60 damage per second over the 50 should definitely let you melt the squishier targets a bit faster. And then, of course, the Chthonian burst projectile damage from 30 to 35. Pretty good. Extra 5 damage per hit. You get, what, 4 or 5 of them? So that's an extra, 5, 10, 50, 20 to 25 damage. I think it's 4, but yeah, good. If you're a Scarlet Witch player, yeah, you do more damage now. Good job. Good change. Some Storm changes. These are I'm excited about, because Storm definitely was in need of help, in my opinion. She was definitely one of the weakest characters. Like, anytime I saw a Storm on the enemy team, I was like, free kills. Let's go. Free ult charge. Hell yeah. But let's see if they really buffed her. The Weather Witch needed an overall increase to her damage capability. Yes. We're also optimizing the feel of her left-click projectile and the release experience of her ultimate ability. I really want to see them change her movement. Her movement feels really sluggish and slow and just bad. She feels bad to move around on, which was kind of my main issue with her. But I guess the increase to damage does help, because sure, I can get plinked really easily, but I could probably just kill them before they kill me, so... But anyways, increase Windblade projectile speed from 100 meters a second to 150 meters a second, and left-click damage from 50 to 55. So the projectile moves faster, so you don't have to lead your targets as much, and it does 5 extra damage per hit, which will add up, because it's your left-click, it's your primary fire, so that will add up very quickly, the extra 5 damage. That's a 10% damage increase right there. Increase Bolt Rush damage from 70 to 80. Extra 10 damage, once again. Plus you put out more damage, easier to kill people, easier to kill low turrets, yada yada. More damage is always going to be a good thing on DPS characters. After releasing Omega Hurricane, the bonus health provided for herself will be increased from 350 to 450. Moreover, following its conclusion, the extra health will no longer vanish instantly, but will instead diminish at a rate of 100 per second. Okay, so when you activate your ult, instead of getting 350 bonus health, you get 450 health, which gives you an extra 100 bonus health during your ultimate, which gives you extra survivability, so the odds of you getting killed during your ultimate have gotten a lot worse. They're going to have to work a little bit harder to kill you. It is only 100 damage, so I still feel like if a team is focus firing you, it's not really going to matter. Like, if you have, like, a Winter Soldier, Punisher, and a Hela or something shooting at you, you're still going to melt relatively quickly, I think, unless, you know, your supports are pocketing you. And then, when it ends, instead of all that bonus health just going away instantly for you to go back to being, like, a squishy target to instantly get melted, the bonus health will last and then diminish for 100 per second. So, you get a little bit of extra survivability at the end of your ults. Yeah, good changes to her. I really like those, honestly. She's definitely going to be doing a lot more damage and a lot more effective. I still think her movement needs a change because, yeah, the extra damage is good, but if she's still a slow target and a Punisher or any hit scan can just instantly dink her out of the sky with not much trouble, she's not really going to get a chance to do that extra damage. But, with that being said, if the enemy team is bad or Storm is allowed to do her thing, or her healers are healing her, or the tanks are doing a job of protecting her, you know, she's going to be able to put out a lot of damage. So yeah, good Storm changes. I actually really like those. I'm probably going to try her out now. I avoided playing her because she felt bad, but I might, with the increased damage, I might have more fun with her. Alright, Squirrel Girl. We're increasing the threat of Doreen and her furry friends in their ultimate ability. Addition of a new effect to the unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami, the squirrels will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly. Okay. Reduce the Squirrel Tsunami health from 600 to 300. Okay. Okay, so she can launch it out in a line and hit someone that she's launching it at. It will bounce and then rush towards the nearest enemy. So I wonder if that means it's heat-seeking, or if it means it hits, like it will bounce and go in a straight line towards the nearest enemy, but not like adjust to hit them. If it's heat-seeking, that's insane. But also the health reduction from 600 to 300 is pretty big. It's half health now, so it might heat-seek and, you know, and deal, you know, damage because it will hit you. It has a higher chance of hitting you now because a lot of the time you can just jump over it or move because it just bounced in random directions. So not exactly like it was going to hit you most of the time anyways. But now, as it's coming at you, 300 health, you can melt it down. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot more effective, but there's more counterplay to it because you can actually melt it down now. Cool. Squirrel change. Awesome. I'm actually really excited to test that one out. Two of my stack main Squirrel. So I'm excited to see the reaction to that. Alright, Winter Soldier. We'll be adjusting Bucky by decreasing his long-range combat strength and increasing his survivability in medium close range combat. Okay, increase the bonus health provided by Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage from 30 to 40. So now when you use those two abilities, you'll get 40 extra health instead of 30, which increases his survivability because, you know, 10 extra health. Increases Roderstern's projectile damage from 70 to 75. So the actual projectile does 5 more damage, which is good. Reduce the area damage from 70 to 65, and reduce damage decay from 65% to 40 meters to 60%. Okay, cool. So they took 5 damage from the area of effect behind the target you hit and put it onto the projectile. So you're rewarded more for actually hitting your target with the projectile versus just hitting someone in front of them so that they get hit with the AoE. And it has more fall off. So try to hit closer. Increase base health from 650 to 275. 250 to 275. I don't know why I keep saying 600 today. I got 600 on my mind. Extra 25 health. He gets the extra 10 health from the using Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage. I'd say pretty good. Yeah, I'd say good changes. I don't know how they decreased his long-range combat strength, other than nerfing the area damage behind Roderstern's projectile. It was only by 5. I think good changes. I think pretty safe changes once again. I'm interested to see how this pans out. I still think he's going to be really, really good because his ultimate is just undeniably good. But I'm interested to see if Winter Soldier mains change their playstyle to accommodate for having weaker area damage, but the stronger projectile damage. I wonder if we see them take better vantage points to actually land those accurate shots versus just trying to hit the tank in front of the enemy team so everyone gets hit. We shall see. Alright. Logan will receive an increase to basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to the additional survivability after activating Undying Animal. Okay. Increase base health from 300 to 350. Reduce the damage reduction ratio provided by Undying Animal from 50% to 40%. Okay, so yeah, when you activate your Undying Animal, when you activate your damage resistance, you're only going to resist 40% instead of 50%, so instead of taking half damage, you take 40% damage. But your your base health is up from 300 to 350, which is a 50 health increase. What I think this is going to do, I think this is going to not really affect too much against sustained damage. I think you're going to get melted pretty quickly just because you're taking so much overall damage, and the damage reduction from Undying Animal, you know, instead of taking half damage from those little hits, you're taking 40% less damage from those little hits. But since you still have 40% damage reduction, but you still have the 50% extra health, I think this will prevent a lot of instances of him getting like 2 to 3 tapped, and you know, maybe he'll be 3 to 4 tapped or 4 to 5 tapped, like get an extra 2 shots to tank because of the extra 50 health. So yeah, I think overall, I think he's actually going to be a bit more survivable in 1v1s, but against groups, a lot less survivable. So, you know, just pick your engagement smart and kidnap people. Bring them to your team. You know, Wolverine is definitely one of the more difficult characters to play, but I think if you play him well, he definitely can shine, and he is really fun. So yeah, I think good changes for Wolverine. That should help him, I think. And then Strategist. I know this is a very long patch notes video. I told you guys this is going to be long. Okay, we got a lot of notes to go over. This is the first patch of the game. But we're done with the tanks. We're done with the DPS. Strategist, baby. Cloak and Dagger. Ty and Tandy will receive an increase to their healing capability as well as an expansion to the coverage area of their ultimate ability. This confuses me a little bit, to be honest with you, because I felt like Cloak and Dagger were capable of putting out some of the highest healing in the game. So I'm not sure why they got a buff, but okay. Reduce Dagger Storm cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. Which ability is Dagger Storm? Dagger Storm. Oh, it's the bubble. Okay, cool. Okay, so the bubble comes back faster, so you can throw it out 3 seconds faster each time, which means, like, over the course of a match, you know, those 3 seconds are going to add up, and you're going to have a lot more healing bubbles. So that's a really good change. Yeah, you're gonna be able to put more healing out because you get one of your best healing abilities back faster, and increase the number of dashes in Eternal Bond from 3 to 4. So man, if you thought stacking 3 was making you super tanky, now you can stack 4. Or if you like to spread it out over the entire objective, you can spread even more of the objective, or cover even more of the objective. Cloak and Dagger was already strong, but now they're even stronger. You're just gonna be able to output more healing. And, hell, more damage with your ultimate, because, you know, the ultimate does damage, too. So, yeah, you're going to be doing, if you thought you were doing good healing with Cloak and Dagger before, now you're going to be doing even more. Alright, Jeff the Land Shark. We'll be adjusting the range for his ultimate ability, so it now better fits the warning marker. In addition, we'll also be increasing his healing capability. Okay, adjust its Jeff ultimate range from 10-meter sphere to a 10-meter radius with a 5-meter high cylindrical spell field. So it's like a can of Coke, like a big, fat, wide can of Coke. That's the way I look at it. It's a can. It's a cylindrical sphere field. I know a lot of people probably don't know what cylindrical means, so I'm helping out. All right. Really good. This means since it's only 5 meters high, characters with double jumps can actually double jump over and out of it, which is nice because it was a little ridiculous that I was, 30 feet in the air with Moon Knight and getting eaten, or I was flying with Iron Man and getting eaten. So now if you're actually above him, you're not going to get eaten by his ultimate. And it says it should better align with the warning marker, so that's cool. And then increase the healing of Joyful Splash from 140 a second to 150 a second. So 10 more healing per second, that's going to add up like crazy, because, over the course of 10 seconds, that's an extra 100 healing. So yeah, good changes for Jeff. I do think he needed it. I don't think Jeff was as strong as people are saying, like, by far. I don't think his healing was that great. The only thing he really had going for him was his ult, which could just, insta-win team fights, which is going to be a lot harder to do now. But he does output more healing, so you can definitely play him, more as a healer versus just a shark kamikaze. So yeah. Luna Snow. While we've enjoyed her dropping the base, we've made adjustments to Luna's ultimate to prevent players from abusing its healing capabilities. Increase the at the interval for switching between healing and damage in Fate of Both Worlds from 0.1 seconds to half a second. Okay, so yeah, when you're using your ult and you're switching between the healing and the damage, instead of being able to like switch back and forth basically instantly, now you have to wait half a second before. So you're not going to be able to, like, if you go into damage mode and someone takes a big chunk of damage really quick, you're not going to be able to immediately switch to start healing them. You have to wait a half a second. So, you know, be careful and be mindful of what's coming at your team's way. You know, damage boost them when you can, but if you see something coming, you know, switch to healing preemptively so that you don't have to sit through the interval, through the slight cooldown between switching. But yeah, I don't think that's a crazy change, honestly. I think that's just pretty okay. Mantis. We'll be making Mantis a bit less fleet-footed, reducing her roaming support capabilities, reduce Nature's Favor, her passive, movement boost from 2.5 meter seconds to 1.5 meters per second. Okay, so she just moves slower, so you're going to not be able to flank quite as bit with her and like take those cheeky like little snipes that you could with her. And you're also not going to be able to retreat as fast as well with her passive. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you're a Mantis player. You don't move as fast, so a lot of the situations that you might be able to go in and get yourself in, you know, you could have moved fast enough to get out of those situations before. Maybe not, now you might not be able to. So just be careful of the situations you're putting yourself in and your positioning, because you are not as fast as you used to be. Rocket Raccoon. Rocket can use an enhancement to his healing capabilities. I agree. Increase the healing of repair mode from 60 per second to 70 per second. Alright, so you do 10 extra healing per second. Definitely should help out with his healing, which I think he needed. I don't think he was really that great of a healer. Beforehand, I thought he was a good off healer, like a good off support, because he could, you know... sorry. The season just came out. I'm recording this on launch morning. Yeah, like he was great for the revive and the armor pack and the damage boost ultimate, but that's about it. I didn't think he was really a good healer, but this should definitely help that problem. Alright, team up abilities, which I believe is the last section. We are almost at the last stretch, fellas. Alright, we're almost done. I know this is how long we've been going. 36 minutes for a patch. Hey, there's a lot of patch. They're changing a lot, man. Alright, team up abilities. Hawkeye and Black Widow. To further tone down Hawkeye's oppression, we'll be reducing his seasonal buff. Reduce Hawkeye's seasonal bonus from 20% to 15%. Cool. So that's just a damage debuff. Nice. So he's not going to be doing as much damage when you have a Hawkeye and a Black Widow. But to be honest, I rarely ever saw this team up. So I'm not sure how, what like big of ripples it's going to spread through the community. But for those duos that ran that, you are going to be doing less damage with Hawkeye. Hela, Thor, Loki. Much like Hawkeye, Hela's overwhelming power will be receiving a slight reduction. Reduces Hela's seasonal bonus from 20% to 15%. Same thing, just 5% less damage with the team-ups. With that one, I saw all the time. So that one is actually a pretty big hit. Alright, Luna Snow Namor will be increasing the threat of Namor's frozen spawn. Okay, that's a good buff because I feel like the team-up really didn't do much. Okay, increasing frozen spawn's damage from 25 to 27. 2 extra damage per hit. Cool. Increased frozen spawn slowing effect applied to hit enemies from 25% to 30%. So instead of they getting slowed down by a quarter, they get slowed down by a third. Cool. That's actually quite a slow. They move at a 2/3 movement speed. Yeah, you can definitely catch up to them or dive on them if they're moving that slow. Increased Berserker State frozen spawn damage from 16 to 18. So yeah, just more damage. So slight damage to the turrets. And the big one, I think, is a slow. That's definitely going to be really useful. So good change. If you run Luna, Snow, Namor team up, that's nice. Good job. You guys are going to be pretty happy with that, I think. Alright, Rocket Raccoon, Punisher, and Winter Soldier. One of Rocket's best tools will be available more often. Reduce the cooldown of ammo invention from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. Once again, a team up I saw all the time and I actually ran quite a bit. Really good now. So yeah, if you enjoyed the infinite ammo and the fire rate increase, now you can enjoy it more often. You can enjoy it 5 seconds faster every 40 seconds. So, hell yeah. That's going to be pretty strong, especially if you run Rocket, Punisher, and Winter Soldier. Being able to get that up way more often, you're going to be like turning the tide of a lot more team fights, I think. Alright, Scarlet Witch Magneto. A bit underwhelming, the damage capability of his father-daughter team-up ability will be enhanced. It was disappointing. It was good. It bumped him up a whole tier in my tier list. Just having that team-up, being able to 3-shot supports. Okay. So, Scarlet Witch got a buff, and the Scarlet Witch Magneto got a team buff. Okay, cool. So that duo is going to be a lot more effective, I think. But increased metallic fusion projectile damage from 55 to 60. Increased metallic fusion spell damage from 30 to 35. So an extra 10 damage if you get a direct hit. That's not really insane, honestly. But it will add up, you know? especially against tanks, because you could already 3 to 4 shot most supports in DPS, you know, obviously depending if they're like a 250 to 300 healther. But now you can definitely do a bit more damage to tanks. So yeah, good change, especially as a Magneto main on tank. Pretty happy to see this. And then the final change of this entire patch, we're finally here. The Thor, Storm, and Captain America team up will be enhancing the damage capability of Storm's side of this team up ability. Okay, reduces the cooldown of Charged Gale from 20 seconds to 15 seconds and increase the damage of Charged Gale from 50 to 55. Overall, good team up for change for Storm. You get Charged Gale 5 seconds faster. You get a lot more often because it's every 15 seconds instead of every 20. And when you do use it, it does 5 extra damage, which, you know, 5 extra damage, still good. So yeah, good patch so far. There's a couple characters that I would have wanted to see some more changes, like Iron Fist and Magic, because yeah, sure, they fall off at the higher level, but that doesn't mean it's okay for them to just stomp pubs and stuff. Obviously, it's like 80% of the player base is not having a fun time against 2 characters. I think they should be changed. But also, I'm not a game dev and I don't know what I'm doing, so, you know, I'm going to quietly sit down and shut up. But overall, good changes. I like the patch so far. There's not really anything I disagree with, honestly. I would have liked to see more for certain characters, but there's nothing I outright think is like a bad change, which is a really good sign, I think. I think it's really good. I'm excited to test out some of these new changes, especially like the Squirrel Girl change, like more of the mechanical heavy changes versus the, you know, stat changes. I think it's going to be a really good first half of the season. I'm excited to see how the meta and how the tier lists and stuff shake up. And thank you for sitting here with me and listening to me talk about all the changes in Season 1. Because 41 minutes is a long time to sit through with, you know, someone yapping in your ear. So I appreciate everyone that made it this far and made it to the end. And if you made it this far and you made it to the end, please don't forget to check the description in the pinned comment down below for a link to my Twitch channel, where I'm going to be streaming Season 1 basically every weekday. So if you want to watch me play live, go ahead and check it out. Check me out there. And I'll leave a Discord link to my Discord, obviously, to my, you know, community, where I'm trying to get VOD reviews and game nights, and just, you know, we have an LFG and all this stuff going, but we need people. So if any of that interests you, you want to join a cool Marvel Rivals community, go ahead and join my Discord. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. I think I've rambled on long enough. But yeah, thanks for watching this far, and I'm Zululix, and I'll see you in the next video.